We start the programme then at The Hague, where the UN's top court has recently ordered Uganda to pay the Democratic Republic of Congo $325 million in reparations over a brutal war 2 decades ago. The figure is just a fraction of the $11 billion demanded by Kinshasa as compensation for the conflict between 1998 and 2003 that left thousands of people dead. Well, the legal battle has been ongoing for decades now, and today's decision by the International Court of Justice is final and cannot be appealed. Covering the story for us today is our correspondent at The Hague, Fernande Van Tets. She joins us now from the ICJ. And Fernande, first of all, this figure is far short of the $11 billion requested by DR Congo. Tell us a bit about how the judges reached this figure.
So the more than $11 billion you're talking about, Nadia, that was a figure that Kinshasa could attain for itself. And basically, the court here said that the evidence they presented to back that up, that just fell short in their opinion. They'd put forward things like victim statements, but the court here ruled that that just was not enough. Instead, they relied mostly on reports by the United Nations and a mapping report from 2010. And that just turned out extremely differently. For example, if you look at Kinshasa said that Uganda should be held responsible for 180,000 civilian deaths. The court here today ruled that that could only be 10 to 15,000, so a huge difference there. So they settled in the end on 225 million for loss of life, a further 40 million for damage to property, and 60 million for damage to natural resources. That is for things like looting gold and coltan, a valuable mineral that is found in the Ituri region where this conflict took place. So really just a lack of evidence. They said they did realize that it was difficult to collect evidence during the atrocities that happened there, but they said that really Kinshasa could have done more to present stronger evidence to back up its claims.
And I said earlier, Fernande, that this is the final legal decision. So is this definitively the end of the process?
Well, if Uganda pays, then yes. I mean, they'd said before that $11 billion sum, they said that that would be economically disastrous. Of course, this number far lower. They're expected to start paying in September of this year in $65 million installments, reaching up to 2026. So if they decide to do that, this could all be over then. DRC had asked the court to remain seized of the matter. They said there was no need because they've whacked on 6% interest every year that Uganda does not pay up. However, should they still refuse to pay, it could end up back here. We have thought that this was over before in 2005 when they ruled that Uganda had violated international law by occupying the Ituri region. They said they should work out reparations among themselves. And then we ended up back here in 2015 because they couldn't figure it out. So it all depends on whether Uganda decides to follow what the court said here today and to pay out to its neighbour.
All right, we'll see what happens. Thanks very much indeed, Fernande Van Tets, for us there at the ICJ at The Hague.